let's give some praise to the Washington football team. And, specifically Taylor Heinicke, because and this kind of came through in the broadcast last night. He recognized that his opportunity to get the attention of the Washington football team or someone else came in that playoff game last year against Tampa Bay, where he went all out and threw his body all over the place. And I said, hey, this is fun, this is great, but it's not sustainable. Credit to him.
Yes.
He hasn't played with the same recklessness this year. He's a little more within himself. Look, right there, knew when to do the quick slide. Hey, he didn't spike anybody when he did that slide either. Imagine that. But I digress. But I think he's found a way to color within the line so he's not taking big hits and he's able to manage the game. And he's getting compared to some pretty damn good quarterbacks, but one game at a time, one rock thrown at the whiteboard at a time. He's winning games. He's taken down Tom Brady, Cam Newton, Russell Wilson. There's something to be said for that.
No, there definitely is. There is. I mean, he's really, I think, going to be one of the more interesting conversations as we go down the stretch here. He really is. He's kind of a natural at playing the position. He really has got incredible feel as far as moving in the pocket, making some off-balance throws, changing his arm angle. He's extremely slippery, moving around and making plays, in the pocket or getting outside of it. There's a moxie about him, certainly. He does have a little bit of a presence on the field, as far as that's concerned. He does. There's no doubt. Now they got some things that are positive about that football team. There's no doubt about that too. I'm interested to see where it goes. Yeah, he's playing well. But I still think he's going to have to prove himself to be a starter, as the year goes on. He's on that cusp because, yes, for everything that I just said he does well, Greasy brought it up at one point during the game too. I can turn on every game and there's going to be a handful of throws with him where I go, for every play I see slippery or moving in the pocket, I could go, well, here's two plays where there's a 20-yard out route open and he misses it. Or he doesn't want to throw it because he doesn't trust his arm. And that to me is what it's going to come down to is just, can he continue to play this way, make enough plays, and, satisfy their coaching staff with the fact that, yeah, he's going to leave some plays on the field because he doesn't have the biggest arm in the world. It's one of the reasons they're not great in the red zone and they can't score touchdowns. He's just not a guy that has an explosive arm that's going to be able to fit balls into tight windows and throw lasers like a Aaron Rodgers or a Tom Brady, why they're so unstoppable down inside the 10. So that's where it's going to be really, really, kind of fun to watch. But, man, I respect his toughness and just his natural feel for the game. It jumps off the TV. But here, this kind of explains it, too. Look at this. And I had no idea we were going to show this. But you could see it's not an overly aggressive passing offense. And that's fine if they can continue to run the ball. But I'm just going to say if they don't run the ball, he's not the kind of guy that I think is going to be able to carry your offense and just be jump on my back, guys, like he did in that wild card game. I understand that. That was great. But I don't think he'll be able to do that consistently. At least that's my question going forward.
Helped to have Antonio Gibson chip in 111 yards on 29 carries. And J.D. McKissick, who was carted off late, he had some sort of a head injury, and that was kind of scary. But he had a couple of touchdowns, and I haven't seen any. I think I saw that his agent said he's okay, but he's kind of a wild card piece of that offense. Right. He got a chance to go against his old team. They've been searching for running backs there that can get it done, and they had a guy who can get it done, and they let him go, and he's getting it done as a key piece of that Washington puzzle. So even with all that said, it shouldn't have been as close as it was.
That's right.
It really shouldn't have come down to the 2-point conversion and then the onside kick that was recovered. I got all excited in part because I'd picked Seattle to win, so I wanted to be right. But we don't see onside kicks recovered anymore. Well, now we know why. They used an illegal formation. So if you don't use a formation that the current rules require to make it harder to recover the onside kick, imagine that. You got a better chance to recover the onside kick. And then they did it again, and the second time the Washington football team recovered, and that was that. But there was a little glimmer of hope, and Russell Wilson was very excited, but they had the illegal formation. Pete's right. It didn't even affect it.
No.
That's what makes it so confounding.
No,
and that's
exactly.
where coaching becomes an issue.
Yeah.
Well, get your guys lined up right. Shouldn't they know by week 12 how to line up for an onside kick? Shouldn't they know? Number 44 in the middle's in the what was the issue there? Inside the hash mark, 44 inside the hash mark. Supposed to be outside the hash mark. How do you
like an easy detail, right? No doubt.
How do you blow that?
No doubt. I know.
Now maybe 44 thought, hey, I'm gonna get over there and try to get a shot at the ricochet. Maybe that was it. Even though
that's what he's there for. No, that's exactly what it is. You're right. But they should know that rule. To your point, that's
just take a step to the right.
Just take a step to the right. And it's just another example again in 2021. Listen, I'm all for managing the game. I'm all for it. You don't have to go for it on every 4th and 1, but you do got to have a feel at some point to like, wait, we're outplaying this team and we got to put them away right now because there's Russell Wilson over there. And it can get scary because they want to play for the last drive of the game to a degree in Seattle. They're comfortable with that. That's what they've done the last 3 years. That was an unbelievable. Mike, I kind of like switched rooms, was getting ready to get in my bed. I was brushing my teeth. And I walked out as the ball was being recovered by Seattle, and I was like, oh, my gosh, are you kidding me? And, luckily for Washington, there was a wrong alignment. But, man, that was risky. It was. All right, let me ask you a question about this. Washington, first off, I do want to – if they can get, Curtis Samuel, who we saw last night, you said it, Antonio Gibson's good. They got a good offensive line, even though, one of their damn centers got injured again last night. They can run the ball. You see Terry McLaurin's a superstar. Out of the teams that we got, at the bottom of the NFC right now, when you think about Washington, Atlanta, Minnesota, New Orleans, Philadelphia, let's just take those, right? Who jumps out to you about that group out of those 5 teams I just mentioned? Do you think Washington's the best team of that group?
I don't know if they're the best team of that group, but when you consider the path that they have, those 5 division games,
they have 2 paths. I guess is what we're saying too. They could win the division and sneak in as the 7th seed. That's what gives them the advantage here.
They do have a little bit of an edge because it could be 4, it could be 7.
Right.
And for the Vikings, for example, the Falcons, look at all the teams in the hunt. The chances of winning the division are very, very slim. Look, I don't want to write off the Giants or the Eagles just yet because when we write off a team, they tend to
don't do that to my G-men.
But yeah, Washington has 2 opportunities. They could still pick off the Cowboys, and they could win enough games if they end up being the 7th seed. So Cowboys need to start worrying about not making the playoffs at all. But Cowboys and Rams, the 2 of the anointed teams by Halloween, things change. And again, this is the product of the 17-game season. It gives the bad teams a little bit more runway to get it together, but it also gives the good teams a little more of an opportunity for it all to fall apart.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.